Now recording.
Now recording.
You must construct additional pylons.
Well, now I've got another clip of that I can edit. I think I saved all the modifications I did to that to a macro on my keyboard, so that anytime you say that, I can just do the same effect. Hey, Internet! Welcome back to Highway 47 Productions, Star Trek The Next Generation Commentaries. We are doing a double header for ourselves tonight. We just finished recording episode number 8, and we are now on episode number 9, which is Hide and Q. And it's number 9 if you count Encounter at Farpoint as one episode and not 2, as we have been doing. Or if you're just using the numbering on Netflix, which is also what we're doing.
Number 9.
Number 9. I am Shaggy B. With me tonight is Dracofunk.
Hey, y'all.
And also with us tonight is Scrodrick.
Hello, hello.
And we are holding it down. It is just after midnight on a Saturday night here in our various locations that are nowhere near each other.
We're just friends who are watching episodes together.
Yeah, and recording our reactions so that you can enjoy it with us. And
maybe you're at home lonely and want to watch somebody to watch your episode with you. We're those people.
That's us. I mean, and honestly, if we were together, we would probably still do something like this anyway. Might not record it though, but you know, it's a good thing to do with your time, you know. And maybe you already know us. Maybe you're our best friends already, or our parents, or somebody else. We don't know. My brain is a little bit not working tonight, but that'll make the episode extra good. But I just want to apologize to the audience for that. I'm not only on a lack of sleep, I'm on my 3rd car repair of the week that I have to get done tomorrow, and there's a hurricane heading for me. So, you know, that's just how things roll. But, you know, I still love Star Trek, and we're still going to watch.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's all cool. The most I've had to worry about is my key fob to the gym stopped working. So I couldn't get in last night until my buddy showed up and let me in.
Oh, nice.
So, you know, it's cool.
Well, and Draco's, you know, front yard's underwater and all that kind of stuff too. So we're all just having a good old time this week.
And I rent, so the outside of this place could get destroyed, and I don't care.
Yeah, same for me actually.
Oh.
Anyway, let's watch some Star Trek. This is episode 9, Hide and Q. And Scroderick, because I can't remember the wording that you used when you gave me this idea. It's a really good idea. I'm going to let you ask this week's discussion question.
Okay, so in this episode, you know, Q's kind of teaching Riker some of his ways, and my question for you guys is, and I'll answer it myself too once you guys get a chance, but if you could force an adult to take any class, what would it be? You know, have them learn something, you know, or relearn something.
They're a class for common sense.
You know, and I don't think really there is. I mean, the joke going around, you know, the high schools these days is like, you know, hey, how do I fill out my taxes? I don't know, but the mitochondria is the power plant of the cell. So, you know, you could say there's not really a class for common sense.
That does kind of hit close to home.
Yeah. Well, and you know, I mean, I knew how to write a check because my parents taught me how to do it, and I certainly never learned that in school. And, you know, we were in school in the Stone Age before debit cards were everywhere. So checks mattered back then. I mean,
oh yeah.
I remember being in college and a girl, you know, another college student I knew, a girl, went to put gas in her car at the gas pump, and she knew she had money in her account, but her debit card wasn't working at the pump for some reason. And she's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to get to work. Well, you have a checkbook, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, well, go to the bank and write a check to yourself and cash it. That's probably the quickest way you're going to get money, you know? And she's like, you can't write checks to yourself. That's stupid. They wouldn't do that. Like, you know, this is, you know, like a 21, 22-year-old woman at the time, and this was, you know, several years ago still, but yeah, so, you know, they don't really teach that stuff.
Well, and doing your taxes. My mother graduated from the same high school that I did. Well, that you did too, Shaggy.
Yeah.
And she's like, they didn't teach you how to do your taxes? I'm like, no, not really. Did they
No.
teach you? Yeah, they did. So I don't know when they got rid of that, but that is something valuable lost.
I'm a little bit older than you guys, and I I distinctly remember actually having a class where we sat down and did like mock taxes.
Yeah, we did. We definitely did not.
I also in 6th grade had this unit where we had to write checks, like fake checks.
Yep, never did that.
Huh.
Yeah, and it like I said, checks were still really commonplace, at the time. And I mean, I don't remember. I remember debit cards being like a newfangled thing. They've been around in other countries forever, but like in America, they were like a newfangled cool idea in, like right around the end of school, for me. I got one when I was, I think, 18, and it was like, wow, a debit card. This is like this amazing new thing that people can just
The
use.
future.
Yeah, and it was like, but I couldn't use it everywhere, so I had to still carry cash because not every place took cards. Like that was still the world. So yeah, checks mattered, and I still write them. I haven't. Well, actually, lately I haven't had an occasion to write a check, but I'm still writing probably at least 1 or 2 every month on average. Now the class I would pick for other adults to take would just be a class on how to take someone else's perspective. How to put yourself in someone else's shoes and realize that you don't have a monopoly on knowledge. Because I'll be honest, we're all afraid of getting older, right? But the thing that scares me the most is not getting sicker or having trouble getting around or whatever. The thing that scares me is turning into one of those middle-aged people who just refuse to take anything that anybody younger than them says seriously. Like, there is nothing that bothers me more than, oh, you're too young to know how things work. You're too young to do this. And that's probably a bit of short man syndrome for me, because I've basically been the youngest person in the crowd my whole life. But I never want to be that guy. So I would definitely force people to go do that, particularly if they work with younger people.
Oh, that sounds absolutely like a good plan, but I don't know. There just seems to be a lot more closed-mindedness going around, at least in small towns, I've noticed. Now, when I go to a larger city, then I'm kind of shocked at the amount of people willing to listen to other people.
Right, and you live in a pretty small town. I live in an extremely small town, but it's 10 minutes away from what is a medium-sized city, and Draco effectively lives in a good sized city. Can't talk. But Scradrick, you and I grew up in the same small town.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can both speak to the fact that it's very true there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I still have people that I consider friends there, but at the same time, some of their ways of thinking rub me the wrong way now that I'm older.
Absolutely.
And have been exposed to not living in the small town that a lot of them have never gotten away from.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if you ever had the experience of people telling you when you were younger, people from our hometown again, people saying things like, well, once you get a little older, you'll learn that, you shouldn't be so sensitive to other people. You shouldn't, you'll learn that you're just wasting time by listening to people and, figuring out their point of view. It's like, I mean, and maybe I'm just not old enough yet. And I hope I'm never that old, but I feel like the older I get, the more I disagree with that. But that's just me.
People need to take a class on using turn signals.
Well, in that vein, I'm not going to take my answer as, seriously as you two did, but just something that really annoyed me the other day, because where I work, I wear multiple hats. I do all kinds of jobs. Sometimes I surprise people with the jobs I'll do, but, you do anything to pay the bills these days.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could force any adult to take any class that I wanted, it would be remedial eating.
Remedial eating. All right. Explain
Yes.
this.
Okay. So, when you're little, mom or dad is teaching you how to eat. You take food, you put it in your mouth, but, when you're a child, it doesn't always go in your mouth. It goes like everywhere. Well, one of the things I was doing the other day, I was actually cleaning up a conference room after there was a presentation for a new system they're going to try to sell us at work. And, I had to clean up after a room of adults had been in this room, and, high level, corporate people. And there was just food everywhere, handprints, sticky handprints on the desks, but they weren't child-sized handprints. They were adult handprints. I'm like, how did this happen? That people
Was it taco night?
No, this was just they brought in Panera, so it was which that's kind of a feat for here because I think the closest Panera is a half-hour drive away from here by interstate.
That just shows you how important they are.
Yeah, so no, remedial eating. And even when I'm working some of my other jobs, like the desk I work at, sometimes people work over the weekend. They won't eat in the break room. They'll eat at the desk. And then there's food all over in the keyboard and there's food on the floor. And then the chair rolls over it and mashes it into the carpet. And it's freaking wretched. And yeah, remedial eating for adults. That's what some of them need.
I almost wonder if there's some kind of psychological dominance thing there. I'm gonna make my mess because somebody else has to clean it.
Oh, I absolutely think that's what it is.
Yeah, and I make messes at my job sometimes, but it's never for that reason. It's always because I'm so pressed for time. I'm one of very few people where I work that travels between multiple locations throughout the day, and on a daily basis, I have to leave one location and get to the next in 10 minutes, and it's an 8-minute drive, that kind of thing. So there are days when there is no way I can pick up my papers on the floor or whatever, and I always feel terrible about it. But man, that's just crazy. It's kind of like what it reminded me of when you were kind of guy who most of his conversation with you is about the terrible condition that he left the bathroom in a few minutes ago. I mean, we all know that guy, right? Yeah, and I mean, not that it isn't a funny story now and then. I mean, let's be honest, we're men, but like when there's that guy who the only thing they talk about is how disgustingly they defecate every time. Something in their brain is this is the only thing I have that makes me a man. I wonder if it's that same circuit firing in their brain. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Although I did dodge a bullet one time. I was working my more professional part of the career at this place, and one of the housekeepers is like, hey, Scradrick, you have to come look at this.
Oh no!
Oh God!
And there was a turd in this toilet that was bigger than my forearm. I don't know how this happened.
Oh wow!
And luckily, that was not the job I was.
20 minutes ago, we were talking about warp nacelles and science and engineering design. Now we're talking
this
about...
kind of reminded me of a warp nacelle.
Of
the disgusting variety that I did not have to deal with because at that point, I didn't have to.
Yeah. I mean, they only pay you so much,
Mm-hmm.
Captain's log. Can we get started?
We should start the episode now.
So,
all right. So we're gonna watch Star Trek.
Hide your cue.
Hide your cue. Hide your cue. Hide your wife. Draco, you want to go through what they have to do to sync up with us?
Oh, do I ever?
Oh, I know you do. You're itching for it. Smell it.
So we are watching the Netflix version. This also works with the Hulu and the DVD version that we have tried. what you need to do is we're going to give you a 5-second countdown and have your mouses or fingers or finger on the button to hit the play thing and whatever you're watching this over when we get done.
Set your counter to 0. Get your finger pappets. Get your finger pappets ready to push the button. That's what they are watching
this. Yeah, well, it might be a trigger if you're watching this over like an Xbox.
I am going to only watch Star Trek wearing finger puppets from now on. I'm going to sew them up out of yarn.
Oh, I really want to hear what you name them.
I mean,
we need pictures.
Picard, Riker, Data. I mean, come on.
Okay, next episode. You have to have a Picard finger puppet.
Well, I'll buy some yarn so it'll keep me busy during the hurricane. Anyway, push the play button when we get to 0. I told you this was going to be a good episode.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. This is Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 1, Episode 9, Hide and Q. And we are starting the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Q.
Engage.
Yeah.
G6.
So
Don't they make a car like that?
They did. I love how they just wrote Counselor Troy out. Like, she just, took the day off that day. Like, oh, we dropped her off.
It's definitely because we weren't thinking about firing her.
Yeah.
She totally thought that's what they were doing.
Uh-huh.
Schematic. The planet's farting, sir.
Methane-like gas. Because they've never encountered any other hydrocarbons before. Butane, propane.
Before you smash, right into it.
Oh, hey, recycled shot. Why is he snakes this time? What?
Get him, Worf. So there's actually a reason for that.
Why is that?
The original story had a backstory of the Q, how there's actually only 3 of them.
Okay.
And that's why there are 3 snakes.
Gotcha. They're like the biblical serpents. You know what my backup question was going to be? If, Skradrick didn't have that good one. It was going to be, what do you think about gold sashes on your shirts?
I mean, I'm fine. Don't hit skip intro, please.
Don't skip it.
I will personally laugh at you if you do.
I will personally... I won't do anything.
So this episode originally aired November 21st, 1987.
Oh, what were you doing then?
Getting ready to eat Thanksgiving dinner.
I was just about to ask, was that a Thursday? Was that Thanksgiving of 1987? Probably not.
Probably not.
No, it can't be, because that wouldn't be late enough to be the 4th Thursday. If only there were some way.
This has an IMDb rating of 7.0.
Really?
Yeah.
Higher than the last one?
Yeah.
Huh.
It is tied for second so far on episodes we've seen. The highest rating has been 7.6, where no man has gone before.
Which was pretty good.
This is tied with Encounter at Farpoint.
By the way, November 21st, 1987 was a Saturday.
So I was probably watching some cartoons that morning.
You ever wonder who's in the observation lounge?
Yeah, wasn't there a little dude walking by there?
Yeah.
That, I mean, they added that for the refresh of the graphics. Two of them holding a phasers pointed at him, and Captain Picard's holding a pad like, I'm gonna shoot you.
Oh.
Redoubtable Riker.
Mm-hmm. He finds everything amusing in the first season. Stay. Good boy. Haha, the Q have discovered Latin. Like saving 504 colonists. I mean, this is a really good recap of the pilot for people who didn't see it.
Because otherwise they'd be like, why does this admiral have magic powers? You know?
Yeah. Maybe all admirals have magic powers in the future.
Especially the rear admirals.
That's right.
How does he remember Riker well? He never really talked to him.
Yeah, he did. He was on the bridge at the end. You're reading a lot into this, pal. You know what I think about the game? I just lost the game.
I knew you were going with that.
We're on a soundstage, sir.
Somebody put those twin moons on the screen.
This set reminds me of that the original series episode with the Western set that was like just the fronts of every building. It was the OK Corral showdown. Remember that one? The yawn is appropriate.
Hmm.
You could try leaving the bridge.
Or breach.
Ship's computers froze.
Well, you can see the screws where they screwed that panel onto the console.
Uh-oh.
How do you open doors?
Does that mean the bathroom doors also don't work?
Oh, great. He's going to have to do it Troy style. Of course, they have an elevator control crew station person. I feel like we've been through this with you.
Thanks, Data.
Insightful as ever. Was that lemonade?
His pinky isn't extended.
It's poison.
So, old-fashioned lemonade.
So they were one script short, I guess, and they just rewrote the pilot.
Too bad this was made with cholera.
Data gets mercury? No.
This is not prune juice.
Or blood wine.
Ractigino.
Ouch. Being a human and all.
I just realized something. John Delancey is a lot more French than Patrick Stewart.
He really is.
So Data's rank pips are two black with a gold one in the middle?
They shouldn't be. Oops.
That's what it just was, unless I just had a stroke.
I'm curious.
Uh-oh. There's a snare drum.
That means we're getting an original series style. Yeah, that is wrong. Wow. Huh. I never knew that. Yeah, particularly when you're in a different branch of the military. Don't forget the green sky.
Green sky, nothing but green sky.
Do I see?
Risk. Are we going to play Risk?
I only played Risk once, and it was like with like my ex-girlfriend's siblings, and they were all like, the oldest was 13.
I bet that went well.
Yeah, I mean, it just turned into a farce.
The last, 3 games of Risk I was part of turned into, big personal brawls between the people involved.
I guess that, elucidates the risk involved. The ultimate penalty. Yeah, we got to keep her around. She has a long life ahead of her.
Oh.
Well, I'm bored.
Stop repeating me.
I mean, the doors to the bathroom are locked.
That's true.
I mean,
What's it?
It isn't?
In hockey terms, what's it called? Power play, when there's like one more dude on one side than the other side, isn't it? I don't know how to hockey.
in the penalty box.
Just keep touching her. She won't mind.
If only he would have kept that rule later on. Or if you're in the penalty box.
That would have been hilarious.
Mm.
The whole of France.
You should have wagered 400 quatloos.
He will be offered a lifetime supply of strawberries.
Data doesn't feel emotions like surprise or astonishment. Oh, that's a neat little French national anthem motif under the soundtrack there.
I heard that.
Bum, 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 bum. Really? Anybody lecturing Patrick Stewart on Shakespeare is hilarious. I know a few tales like that.
I bet he does.
I bet he does.
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about military or anything.
That won't hurt at all.
I mean, probably won't hurt Data.
I mean, for all we know, those uniforms are, impenetrable. Nope, they work.
And now the enemy knows exactly where you are.
Worf's like, what the hell happened? We just sent you with that one as a joke.
Yeah. Close up on his face while he says that. Ruh-roh.
Ah.
Whoa.
Oh, shit. They gave him photon torpedoes.
Nice shooting.
Yeah, he's pretty good with that thing.
He's played a lot of Fortnite.
Seeing Q's version of Data has the right rank insignia on his uniform.
Believe in yourself. The power was within you all along.
Yes. By the power of Grayskull. I can do anything. Oh, hey, the ship runs now.
It was just running a virus scan. Who's chief engineer now? Yes, sir. Yes, we are.
Or, put you in a fake bridge. But suspending time seems reasonable to me.
Uh-huh.
Well, when he found out he has magic powers, he got preoccupied by all the things he was creating.
He has sold his soul to Satan, but I think I like the first season Captain's Chair better than the later one. With the flip up panels and stuff.
That was great. What just happened?
This is the part of the episode where Riker's character goes off the rails and is nothing like any other iteration of Riker ever.
He's wearing Commander's pips now.
Oh, yeah. See, but I'm doubting it because they got the rank wrong on Data's uniform, so I don't know if it's a mistake or if he's doing a I'm Riker thing or what. When he moved, you could totally see the wrinkle in the green screen back there. The place I'm from. What?
I mean, this could be the perfect time to do that.
It seems like they've got plenty of time, yeah.
I mean, what is the human population of the ship?
About 1,000.
They're not all human.
Oh, true, yeah. Most of them are, but oh, good, everybody's here.
Except Counselor Troy.
And they dropped her off.
Dr. Crusher's also not there.
True.
Oh,
I'm always armed. What?
Nothing but these two guns right here.
Guys, you should know those things have photon torpedoes. You know?
Yeah, maybe tell them that. Well, so much for him.
the first time Worf gets his butt kicked.
Stab him right in the bladder.
Yeah, go get him, Wesley.
you aren't supposed to run towards the guys with bayonets.
No, you're not.
How could you?
Damn you, Wrecker.
Oh, look, you don't have a hole in your chest anymore, or your stomach.
Worf still has a bladder. Data's in a chair now. Stand there and look stupid, Riker.
What's he looking at?
How awesome.
That was, he hung all the bodies of the, Renaissance monsters or whatever.
If only we had a counselor. Oh, wait. She's,
They dropped her off.
Yeah. What? He has changed. He didn't sit down in the chair, right? No, you're not.
I have 400 Quatloos riding on you, Will.
We don't need the transporter room. I can just take us there. Oh, wait. Darn.
Oh, those people with those horrible burn injuries. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Sucks for them. Not going to save them. It's an unusual camera angle for Next Generation.
All crushed. Thought it was supposed to be burns. Yeah, they were crushed.
To shred yourself.
It's kind of like being burned.
Get him, Data.
Maybe don't throw the rocks at the other people.
She's never been able to reverse that before.
Nope.
Well, how far would that go? I mean, the next question, could you bring my husband back?
Yeah. What about Picard's mother or the Stargazer or
His grandma, she was awesome.
yeah.
Riker's mom?
Yeah.
Your bridge staff.
Getting a tood.
Be that way.
I've just been in that turbo lift for like past 3 hours.
Just hanging out. See, like I don't feel like this is how Will Riker would actually behave,
Yeah. So, who's running the ship right now?
Somebody on the battle bridge.
Correct. Ooh.
Huh. Not Bill though. That's only for people you're sleeping with.
Kind of turned into a giant asshole afterward.
Yeah. Worf's just standing there like, smart people doing brain things. I don't know.
Wish I had a job.
Nice touch.
What's a Jedi doing on our bridge?
Oh,
I know a Capuchin Friar, and like at his whatever you call the moment where they get to put on the robe the first time, like he and like all the guys who were there doing the same thing. As soon as the ceremony was over, they all pulled out their lightsabers and started like mock. Yeah. That goes well with prune juice.
when in Rome.
It's like a burlap habit.
Oh,
I don't think they'd all like it touching.
Mhm.
It'll only hurt a little bit.
Mhm.
I have to get Wesley away from this.
He is a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Oh no. Okay. All right. That's totally what Will Wheaton is going to look like in 1997.
Want my number?
And I don't want to be, squishy.
Hmm.
A woman? Where?
Real eyes for like 45 seconds.
He can take a look.
Even if it's not in the book. I think they kind of blew the reveal on the Realize thing a little too early. Episode 8, you know. Well then.
No, I need that to see other weird things.
Besides, with the visor, I can see under people's clothes.
The scene is going so long. Oh, hey, I remember her. She's from like next season.
This is the first time a Klingon woman has been put in the Next Generation.
I was just thinking maybe Star Trek period.
There were Klingon women in the original series.
Were there?
Yeah.
That's a thong.
Wes is like, can I get one of those?
Yeah.
Does he want a shattered pelvis?
He might be able to
He
take
is-
her with his, you know, huge man muscles that he's got.
Yeah, he is pretty buff. What the fuck, man?
Why are they showing it on TV?
We'll see how that holds up next season.
Yeah, it'll work great.
But can I have one, please?
That was a pretty well done dub.
I mean, it is effectively taking 10 years off his life.
There is that, yeah.
My gift of less life for you.
Tasha's up there like, I'll take it. Like, seriously, give me like. She's up there like, nobody wants to give me things.
$400 Quatloos.
She just been kneeling there for like 5 minutes.
Tasha's like, I didn't get anything.
Yeah. She got the penalty box with the captain. Maybe that's what she wanted.
The hell, Riker?
I mean, we can put a man on the moon, but we can't talk to each other. Yeah, just go there. And Riker's just fine. He's not upset about it or anything. He's not embarrassed. He doesn't apologize.
Just back to normal.
Plot twist. He still has all his Q powers for the rest of the series. He just doesn't realize it.
Oh, wow. Well, made it through that one.
I'm really surprised this has a higher IMDb rating than last episode.
It's so slow, you know? And maybe it's just the fact that it's late at night, but man.
No. It's...
No, because, this is early day for me, and that's still drug on.
That's true, yeah. I always feel like, I don't know, I always remember that episode is better than it was. And like, as we were going into it at the beginning, I was like, I don't remember. I feel like I'm forgetting most of what happens, and I was slowly realizing that it's not that. It's just that not much happens.
It's not a priority on the rewatch schedule, It's like, I'll just kind of do some other things while this one's on.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and I feel like, particularly, while Next Generation was still airing, I feel like I kind of remember, like, the set of Q episodes was like, the good ones. People were always like, oh, it's a Q episode, it'll be really good. And so maybe that's kind of why I keep having higher expectations of this one. But,
I really think this is I don't know. I think this is, I need to do more research. I think this is the lowest rating Q episode, and it's tied with Encounter at Farpoint.
Yeah. Well, it basically,
I could be wrong about that.
It basically is an Encounter at Farpoint Part 3. I mean, they retold the entire story of the pilot like twice. It's essentially the same plot. It's like Star Wars Episode 7 and 8 were just Star Wars Episode 4 rewritten. And Star Trek Into Darkness was, horrifying.
Yeah.
So any other final thoughts on this episode?
Hide your Q.
Hide your Q. I liked Q's effects. I liked his costumes this time around. I feel like I kind of wish they'd kept that motif of him always being in some, crazy outfit, but
They'll get back to there. I think that's in the 5th season.
Which one are you thinking of?
Can't remember the name of it. It's when the Vosh comes back.
Oh yeah, her. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's true.
I just like John Delancey. He is
really good,
actor.
and I'm really glad. Pairing him with Patrick Stewart is fantastic. That's just one of the all-time great duos. I would love to see them work together in something else. Besides Star Trek: The Next Generation. Which they may well have done, I don't know, but I would love to see them, just in a movie somewhere, or just whatever.
It was a missed opportunity to put John Delancey in the X-Men movies. That would have been great.
That's really true. That would have been fantastic. Has he done any movies? I don't really know.
The last thing I knew he was in that I saw him in was Breaking Bad, but that was a while back that I saw that.
Right. Well, and I mean, I must disclaim that I don't know this from being a fan, but I know he's in the My Little Pony cartoon.
He was on Stargate too.
Yeah, and the character he plays is basically Q. Yeah, exactly.
A lot of Star Trek actors and actually sci-fi actors from other series ended up on Stargate. Mm-hmm. I think at one point John Delancey was working with Robert Picardo.
That would be really good too, actually.
They worked together on Stargate.
That would be really good. Let's see. He was in Star Trek Continues. He was in an episode for that. Bunch of video games. He was on an episode of The Mentalist and Family Guy. I'm not seeing many movies in his filmography.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, okay. Well, that was fun. It's, honestly, it's another first season episode that I'm glad we've gotten through. On the way to the good ones.
So let's get through another one next time.
All right.
We got a good one coming up. Let me tell you.
Oh God.
Maybe we might need some watching aid for this next one.
We might. Well, we're not doing it tonight, and
no.
No.
I do want to say, speaking of schedules, that and if you're listening to this, it's probably well past, but don't be too surprised if we end up getting a little off schedule in the future, depending on Hurricane Florence. Basically, I live in the Carolinas, and if this is September 9th, Saturday evening, before the storm is supposed to roll in right now. And if you have seen the weather for that, or at this point, you know how the storm turns out. And the episode will come out after. But I anticipate, I may end up having a delay in editing. I already have it right now. I'm working on They Live, but I'm not going to be able to finish that before the storm hits. So
that's still possibly might have already came out, depending on...
Yeah, that's also true. But, consider this a retroactive apology for this being late if it's late, and future episodes maybe also being late if they're late. But we should be good at least through September 21st, because that's already in the queue to be released.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
The queue.
Aha!
Ah!
It's hiding in the queue for release. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
See you later. Can we cut that down, maybe? So it's...
Yeah, we will. Let me...
that was like 20 minutes.
That was a long time.
Sorry.
Well, it was a really good question, though. Like, it was really, really good.